What's up, guys? Welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator. In this episode, we're going to be restoring Dominic Toretto's iconic Charger from the Fast and Furious franchise. Now, this car is in pretty rough condition, so we're going to get started right away. Okay, I'm going to skip right past the car wash because I don't really think we need one. It's just a pile of rust. And we're going to go straight to the suspension work on this car, just to change it up a little bit. Now, I actually just recently watched Fast and Furious X. I don't know what it's called. I believe that's what it's called, but it's the 10th movie. And man, what a difference, or just what a change the franchise has made from the originals. I stopped watching at the 6th one, and it's different to say the least. It feels like it's completely aimed at a different audience. Very odd to say the least. It was kind of hard to watch, honestly. Like, it was very predictable. The scenes just, I don't know, they just didn't feel right. And I know people say normally like the sequels aren't as good as the originals and all that, but like Fast and Furious has been a long time franchise, and they're able to make so many movies that were just good back to back. Even changing it up with like Tokyo Drift, which was a great movie, and it was a complete change of characters, scenery, even cars. So normally I believe the first two movies was like mostly just like muscle cars, but in Tokyo Drift they completely changed that up. But these new movies, man, I will say the cars are really nice, but just the characters and the plot is just, it's gotten so unrealistic that it's just almost like a fall from grace. At least is my opinion. I don't know how other people feel about it. Don't know how other people feel about it, man. But I've always loved this Dom's Charger, so I'm glad that I get to rebuild it in this game. They did a great job telling like the backstory of it, how it was his dad's car and all that. The iconic 900 horsepower, which I don't know if we're gonna aim for in this video. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Anything with a lot of horsepower, I'm talking like 600, 700, becomes very hard to control in this game. I don't know, maybe we'll aim for that, maybe we won't. I guess I'll just see what kind of mood I'm in when we get to the engine. But they just did such a good job at storytelling in the original movies. Ever since Paul Walker died, it just doesn't feel the same, man. Does not feel the same. Damn, this thing's just so rusty. This car looks like it's been sitting like the ocean for years. It is in a rough condition. Grab these last two bolts, nuts. And the front end is basically disassembled. Oh, forgot one bushing. I was actually going to install a mod for this game not too long ago. I was going to install the TK aftermarket mod, I think it was called. I believe that was the name, but I was having trouble installing it. What it essentially does is it makes your suspension work more detailed. Like the diff. Okay, no. For a second I thought it worked. But basically what it does is it adds some extra parts to the suspension, like, and just to the game. Like there's a whole new I think it's Volkswagen engine that they add with that mod. But they add like the little things about cars, like a battery tray. You're able to take out like the diff cover back here and see all the gearing and all that. And you're able to just take off the cover, and you have to take out, you're able to see basically what you're doing. It's just more complex, I guess. And it just makes for a better teardown, I guess, because it's more detailed. But I actually had a lot of trouble installing that. I tried for a little bit. I'm gonna try to get that mod installed soon though. I would like to have more detail in these builds. Alright, I believe I got everything off. I was able to save quite a few parts. I only messed up on, of course, the one part that I needed, which was the cross member. E. I completely destroyed that. Fuck. But it happens. Speaking about mods as I was before, I'd like to thank you guys because I got a lot of support on one of my, I wouldn't say older videos, but I did a QOL mod kind of walkthrough guide, and that's gotten some traction recently. So I'd just like to thank you guys. Really appreciate all the support that it's been getting. Now I'm just going to do a time lapse of me completing the suspension. Car is still in rough condition, so at this point, I don't know why I just lowered it. I'm gonna pull the engine, and then I gotta take off some of the body panels to weld it. Where? No, let me actually. Gotta drain the oil. That's what I gotta do. I thought it had a transmission on it, but it does not. And there's no oil in that apparently. All right, that's just my luck. Let me just make sure it went through. Yeah, there's literally no oil in it. Okay. Now I'm just gonna yank this engine out real quick. Just like that. Sadly, there's not a correct hood for this engine. There's no hole in the hood, so it kind of looks a little bit choppy, but no, that's fine. You gotta make with what you have. Take off all the body panels, and we can get to welding this rusty thing. Move this out of here. I think that's everything. Just check. 1%. The frame's at 4%. Wow. I can't remember where I got this from. Either the junkyard or the auction house. The auction house. That is surprising to see it in this rough condition. There we go. Now we're talking. Also, while this is available, let's just yank this out. And let me replace the interior real quick. Just so we have the chance while everything's open. Steering wheel. 2 seats and then just the bench. I also need to give this thing a car wash inside and outside when I have the chance. Hopefully I don't forget to do that. There's the interior done. Car is slowly pulling itself together. I kind of like that I did the suspension first, because now, after hooking up the welder and everything, the car is looking really good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to save any of those body panels. Let's see. Okay, we're able to save 3 of them, which is still good. That just means I'll have to buy the rest of them, which is no big deal, to be honest with you. One thing that I was thinking about doing, because I watched the new Fast and Furious movie, was rebuilding the villain's car. Forgot what the guy's name is. I think it's Jason something, the actor. But he has like this really cool purple Roadrunner, and it just looks gorgeous. So I think I might try to do a rebuild on one of those soon. The only problem is I did just do a rebuild on a Roadrunner, which I'll show you real quick because it's outside. Did kind of like an off-road theme. I went with like a little bit of a different color. You don't really see green too often. So it's a nice car, but in the movie there's this beautiful purple one. So I think I'm gonna try to recreate that soon. I might do a few more videos before that, just to kind of separate the 2 Roadrunner videos. But man, that's one thing that hasn't changed about Fast and Furious, is the cars are absolutely stunning in them. So nice. And there's our Dodge Charger pretty much put together. Am I forgetting something? Oh, the license plates. Let me quickly go grab those. I'm not sure what kind of plates the actual Charger in the movie has on it, like what color plates. We're just gonna go with some basic white ones for now. If anything, I'll change it a little bit later. This thing is starting to look good. And we don't even, well, we are gonna paint it black, but since all the body panels we just added are kind of like a matte black, you get a pretty good idea of what the car is gonna look like. Man, I'm actually really happy with this. What should we do now? Should we paint it now? You know what, let me go throw some rims on it. Let me go see if I can match the rims from the movie real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go with Rim Retro 11. They do look pretty close to the ones that are in the movie. I wonder how many iterations of Dom's Charger there are. I'm going off the first movie here. So there's probably tons of changes to the car throughout the franchise itself. We're gonna need 4 of these. I don't think we're gonna need any offset. Really? Let me check. Okay, I don't think we're gonna need any offset. We're gonna go with 18s all around. Now for tire, let's see. Ooh, did not mean to do that. We go with drag tires or race tires? I can't remember if the story of the car, like the lore of it, is that it was a drag car or that it was like a street racing car. I'm pretty sure it's a street racing car. That would make sense. But actually in Tokyo Drift, I believe he pulls up in the Charger anyway. So it's a drift car too, apparently. We're gonna go with race tires, honestly. We're gonna go with some 18s. Let's do, I'm thinking like 30 in the front for profile. 2 35s. Again, I'm gonna mess around with this probably. So I'll give you guys the final kind of sizing for the tires, but what I'm thinking the back is like thick tires, and we're gonna go 35. All right, the rims did take me a little bit to figure out, and I went with 40 profile on both of them. These are 235s and these are 305s, so they're pretty thick tires in the back. I think that looks pretty good. Once we have the blower on there sticking to the roof, I think it's gonna look really damn good. So while it's like this and where we have it on all 4 tires, let's go take it to the paint shop. Let's go paint all those panels that classic black that you see in the movie. Oof. As soon as you get the engine in this thing, it's gonna look so good. So good. Man, I love the way this thing looks. Absolutely love it already. Alright, let's go get to work on that engine. Now, as I was mentioning before, I don't know if I want to do that 900 horsepower engine. Let me see. The engine that was in it is making 500, which is already a lot. So it's not hard to get to 900 from 500. It would probably just be almost the whole thing would have to be performance parts, but it's definitely plausible. I do think that I am gonna stick with the 500 horsepower because I would like to drive these cars realistically. Like, I would like to enjoy them when I drive them, so we might go for a really basic build on this thing. That's if even if we're able to save any of these parts. I might have to rebuild this engine new. Oh, we'll see. That's like one of the main parts about this game, at least in my opinion, is actually being able to drive these cars. So I know the iconic 900 horsepower would be nice to recreate, but it would just be so undrivable that it wouldn't feel fulfilling to build this whole thing and then drive it and struggle around a course. I even might struggle with 500 horsepower, to be honest. So definitely, I think not adding any performance parts is a smart idea on this one, at least. Plus, you can't really wheelie in this game anyway. That's another thing that I was going to talk about. Why is there so many wheelies in the Fast and Furious franchise? I'm not trying to spoil the newest movie, but that ending scene at the dam was unrealistic. I know it's a movie. I'm aware it's a movie. But man, the fire, you would think Dom and his kid had a fire potion from Minecraft. Because they were, they didn't even get hurt at all. At all. What a movie. And John Cena's in it? Like, what the f? Alright, I had to stop myself there. I didn't want to start sounding like a hater, but I did go on a little bit of a tangent. But, you know, we're just going to leave that. We're going to leave that alone. I did just go and paint up all the engine parts. So, I'm going to go with the kind of a black and chrome type deal. But I didn't make like the supercharger chrome. I kind of left it that metally color. Or metal color. But I did do the heads and things like that black. And then did the engine covers chrome. But I don't know if it's gonna look weird, but I think if I do the supercharger and the supercharger intake, like the little almost called it a bucket, but like it's a basket. If I did that chrome, I think it's gonna be like in your face. So I wanted to avoid that. So I just left it the way they came in. Hopefully that doesn't look too odd. But yeah, I just had to cut myself off after the John Cena thing because I don't want to sound like a hater of the new movies or the new Fast and Furious franchise, because I'm sure there are people that really do like that. This new era of Fast and Furious. So I don't want to sound like too much of a hater, because honestly, if I didn't see the original ones, I think it's an okay movie. But seeing the original ones just makes it worse, if that makes any sense. I just didn't want to sound like a hater. Let's get this chrome cover on. See, I don't know if that's too much. Like when you open the hood to see the engine, I don't want like it to just be like a chrome smack in the face. So hopefully this isn't too much. I did not buy a cam gear. Go grab one of those. So if you guys are enjoying the video so far, please consider subscribing. I'm on the road to 1,000 subs, so I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, I just hope that this engine doesn't look goofy. See, like I probably should have done the timing cover black also. I didn't buy that either. I am all over the place. Well, that is alright. I don't think I was able to save the exhaust manifolds. That's good. Like maybe I should have made these chrome? Don't know. Do not know. Maybe I'll change the covers back to the original kind of metal color. I don't know if the chrome is just too much. Too much, and then it's also only in like one spot really, just on the covers. I don't know if it just looks weird. But one thing that I'm certain is going to be chrome is the air scoop. That thing, when you buy it, it comes in chrome, and it just fits the car, especially with the chrome wheels and all that. So that's something that's definitely going to be chrome. This is what I was talking about. Let's see what it's called. The intake manifold. Okay. I left it this. I didn't even paint it. I just left it this color. Same thing with the supercharger. I wish I could see the bolts that I'm trying to get to. Jeez. So let's see how this looks with those chrome head covers. Oh, how does this side look? No, it doesn't look that. This engine is just wide. Wow. I didn't really think of that. This thing is wide. No, come back. Doesn't look that goofy, to be honest. Placing this distributor before it gets completely blocked. Did I buy the clips? I don't think I did, but I had some left over. I will take that. We'll gladly take that, but I don't think this looks too goofy. We'll see once we put it into the engine bay how it just looks with the black frame and all that. Dude, this thing is aggressive. I wish that hood had a hole in it and that the engine was like pushed up a little bit more, so you see more of the engine. But can't have everything. Cannot have everything. Yeah, it's really shocking that they didn't actually add like a hood variant in the DLC, because if you add a charger, you obviously know people are going to be recreating the General Lee and Dom's car, Dom's Charger. I don't know why they didn't really do that. A little bit disappointing. Whew. Let's see how this looks. I think it looks alright with the chrome there. It doesn't really overpower it at all, just because this supercharger is huge. Look at the sizes, and you can't even see the oil pan really. This thing is massive. I'm gonna put it in my pocket. Alright, there we go. Go throw it in here. Kind of excited to see how this looks. See, only if it was up a little bit more. Just a little bit more. But it still clips through. Just wish it was a little bit taller. Wish it was a little bit taller. Yeah, honestly, if there's one thing I would change, maybe a little bit more profile on that front tire. Maybe 45s in the front. Maybe I will change that, but at the moment, I'm saying this car looks pretty good. Pretty damn good. Okay, I did change the rims. Couldn't take it, but I think it makes a good difference. It just felt like there was a little bit too much space in the fenders. But now, let me go place in the reservoirs. We're getting pretty close to driving this thing. A few more little installations that we need to do. I'm a little bit torn. I did buy a normal transmission, but I'm not sure that the transmission's gonna hold up to this engine's horsepower. I'm not too sure of that, because I know most of the transmissions, at least in my experience, normally top out at like 136. I'm assuming this thing with 500 horsepower, almost 600 I think, is gonna do just fine in terms of reaching that limit. So I'm not sure if this trans is gonna be able to hang. If anything, we'll need to switch it around and put a performance one in there. But again, no big deal. No big deal. Bolt up the trans. I did have to buy a drive shaft for this thing too. It was missing it originally. Already bought the exhaust pieces. Ooh. No, no, no. No extra horsepower for you. There we go. And just the oh, I completely forgot the fuel tank apparently. I don't need to buy one of those and a fuel pump. There we go. All right, let's see, how well did I do? I'm gonna hope we're at 100% everywhere. Let's see. Oh yeah, perfect. How much does it sell for? 76 grand. Not that much profit, really, considering how much money I've thrown at it. All right, this, I don't know, I don't remember if Dominic Toretto has tint in his car, but just for the sake, because I do like tint, I'm gonna go with some 65 all around it, maybe some 70, just so it has a little bit more personality. I think that'll do. All right, now let's take this thing out to the track. Oh, this thing sounds mean. I think we did a pretty good job with the way it looks. Again, just would have wished that that engine was a little bit taller. Man, that whine is ear piercing. All right. Oh man, this thing is so cool. A little bit of understeer. I'm having a lot of understeer problems lately. I don't know if it's because I'm driving older cars or if I'm putting too wide of tires in the front. That could be a problem too. I'm definitely gonna have to turn the whine down in editing. This thing is ear piercing. Oh, this thing is so cool. See if we can get a good line going. Come on, stay on the course, stay on the course. Oh, just a little bit of understeer. Beautiful car, man. Brake through this corner a little bit. And there we go. We're already in a minute. I think we're on the slower side at the moment in terms of lap time, which is weird because we have good horsepower. But I haven't played this game in like 2-3 weeks. I've been away from YouTube, kind of doing my own thing. Oh, left tap. So I might just be a little bit rusty on the track. $142. I couldn't tell if we're topped. No! Oh, I messed that up. Oh, okay. That was gonna be like probably like a 147 lap time, I'm guessing, if I didn't tip this boat. Damn it. That was gonna be a decent. No, we're getting a 147 now. That would have been like maybe a 130 something, like a 137. Damn. Good lap time we would have had. Man, look at this Charger. It fits perfect out here. This is one of my favorite setups, man. All these cars look so good. I did change that Nova to yellow, if you guys have been watching for a while. I didn't change the the engine inside. I got a little bit lazy. This car used to be green, that color green. I didn't really like it. What an episode. This Charger was so fun to build. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.